All right, time for part 2 of our tutorial. We're going to go over the gradebook. So this is back at the home page. You can actually access this from the attendance screen as well, or attendance by photo. It doesn't really matter. So we can type in gradebook or grade, and it's going to hit enter, Anthony. There we go. System was sleeping on me. So you can type in grad, whatever, and you can go to gradebook, or from the default thing, you can just click gradebook. So it's actually going to take you to a different portal. So you're going to look and see that all of these things auto-populate. This is what it's going to look like at the end. We actually have to set up our gradebook so it looks like this. So I'm going to show you how to do it. But first, I'm going to delete all of these things. So hopefully after some editing magic, that'll be done. Editing magic. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to Mass Add Gradebooks. So this should be the same information that you have on your attendance sheet. All we're doing is making a gradebook that corresponds to that section. We're just going to select for all of them. Go to next. So the way this works, our Edna High School does fall and spring semester credits. So you're going to select fall and spring. If you have different classes in the fall and the spring, let me know. I can explain to you how you're going to change the way you do this process so you can do this part correctly. Like if you only have like a class that goes for one semester and not for two. But for most teachers, you're just going to click fall and spring and go to create gradebooks. So the next thing we're going to do after it loads, bam, all of our classes, this is our home page. The next thing we're going to go to is manage gradebook. We're not going to mess with any of this stuff. You can change the name of the class if you'd like, but we're not going to change this. We're going to go straight to options. I'm going to walk you through what each of these options do and basically tell you if you should or shouldn't check the box. This changes the grading style from numbers to completely rubrics. I don't think any of us needs to check this. We are definitely going to want to do this. Weight scores of assignments by category. This is saying for categories, everyone should have daily work and like homework as one category. Another one should be like test or projects, 50-50. So we're definitely going to want that. This apply assignment scores immediately. The way the system works, if you do not check this box, you're going to have to manually go into each assignment and select scoring completed when you have done all the grading so everyone can properly see the information. It also is going to add a couple extra hurdles to submitting your grades for the progress reports or report cards. So I highly recommend having this on unless you're extremely tedious about going through this, but I don't think we need the extra worry. Applying weights, affirmative, and summative assessments, we do not need to do that because we're already applying the weights by the category. This is actually going to give us 2 levels of weighting, and our district doesn't do our grading like that, so we need to do this. This min or max value, you may want to do this. I personally am not. What it should do is change whatever grade you input to automatically fit within this. So say a student has a 0 on a paper. When I type in 0, when it goes to register the grade, it's automatically going to jack this up to a 50. Say I mistype and I put 1,000 instead of 100 on a student's grade, it's going to turn the grade to 150. I'm personally going to turn it off, but if you would like that feature, you can have it on for yourself. You're going to want to turn this on. The long and short of it is it's going to make sure your gradebook is automatically going to stay with whatever your attendance roster says. And it's going to do this every 5 minutes. If you don't do this, you're going to have to manually do it yourself, and we don't need that. The hide overall percentage or trend analysis score, this shows a progress if the grades are going up or down over time. You definitely are going to want to see this yourself for quick data. I don't know why you wouldn't want this for parents and students, so we're not going to hide it. Display drop dates. So what this means is if a student is dropped from your class, it will still show the information for that student at the very bottom of grading pages for X number of days. You can change that number to whatever you want, but it shouldn't affect anything that you do. This, you can see the student's ID. The system also has the ability for aliases, but I'm not sure if that is an admin part or our part, so I'm just going to leave it unchecked. I'm going to group assignments by category. It's loading. What that means is all of our tests show as one section, and then all of our daily grade shows another. This, you can arrange it by due date or when you created it. This doesn't matter. This is when you hopefully are able to import this from Google. It's going to say what type of assignment it is, but this doesn't really matter because we're not using the formative summative weight. So now we're going to copy this setting to all of the gradebooks. I'm just going to select all and apply. Bam. You can always go back and change these settings. So if we click dashboard, boom, we're back to our home. You can change these different images. It doesn't change anything. It all has basically the same information. You just have to click details to see the rest. So the next thing we're going to do is link gradebooks. So linking gradebooks is very important. So if you're teaching, maybe you teach all the same class. Maybe you're like me, you have two classes. I have Algebra 2 and I have Honors Geometry. So what you're going to do is for every name, you're going to put the same number. So this IBHS blah, 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 blah. We're going to put 1, so that means it's group 1. We're going to put all those together. You can also type it in. So all the teacher's aides are going to be 2s for the gradebook. And then we're going to do Honors Geometry, Honors History, World History, 3. Obviously, this isn't my class. It's just what the demo put up. PE 4. We're going to save the changes. So now what this did is it makes it to where whenever you make an assignment or a category for one part of the group, it changes every other part of the group. So now we're going to add categories. See, if linking gradebooks, you must do so before adding category types or assignments. So that's why we did that first. And so our category should be daily. You can change the color to whatever you want. Cowboys, 50%. Add new category. It warns us that it doesn't add up to 100%, though we should be able to do 50 plus 50, I hope. And then my favorite color is yellow, so let's go yellow. So we're going to go 50-50. So we're going to save. So now it's going to update. So next we're going to go to manage students. So we're going to add students. We have this list of categories. It has all of our classes. If we scroll, we see that it subdivides this by category. So we're going to add all students. The process is complete. It's going to take this a second to update. So I'm going to go back to the home. We can do that by pressing dashboard, or we can change to our different classes here. So we're going to have the dashboard. So you see, if you look closely, these two say add assignment instead of add categories. Because they were grouped, it automatically did it. And if you want confirmation, we can go to this and we're going to click, one sec, it's the wrong thing. Assignments, no assignments, students, manage. Sorry, we're gonna go to manage and we're gonna go to categories. So we're on the categories and boom, we're in the different section, but since they're grouped together, they're already here. The same thing will happen to assignments. I'm going to finish adding the categories to the other things. I think I'm approaching the time limit for my recordings feature, so we're going to have to a part 2. So I'll see you with that.